to address the issues facing Tennesseans today. From 10 News, this is Inside Tennessee.
Good Sunday morning and welcome to Inside Tennessee along with John North, my colleague here at WBIR. I'm John Becker. We'll serve as your moderators today for a breakdown of the Knoxville City Council race. This was an important election this week. 5 of the 9 seats were up, and we have a decision in all of them that was decisive. We're going to break down why. Let me first bring in our panelists. Don Bosch is a Democrat, runs his own law firm. Susan Richardson Williams runs her own PR firm, and she is a Republican. Let's get to the dynamics of this race, and the first we go to is turnout. John North and I are standing next to the numbers, and this gives you some perspective. So this isn't a similar race from these past years. 2013, 4.3 thousand people, 5.4 in 2015, and 2017, we bumped up to 11. Look what happened this year. Almost doubled turnout in 2021. Now, for perspective, if we had 10 chairs, only 2 people were sitting in those chairs, this representing 20% of the vote. But John North, let's start with turnout. That's a big story here. What drove people to the polls?
Encouraging, but also driven kind of like the Republicans turned on the gas for this race and said, we're going to make it partisan. And everybody went, okay, all right. Well, I guess that means we need to respond. So you saw a response both from Democrats and the GOP, and probably people are like, I don't know which party I'm in, but maybe I really need to participate in this election.
Don Bosch, let's talk to you about turnout. What do you think drove people and how they voted? Because the splits, and we'll get to them in a minute, were pretty clear across the board. People were voting for people they thought were in one party or another.
Sure. I think that John hit it on the head. I think that turning it partisan, and the GOP decided to do that, the local GOP and the current chair of the local GOP. And I think Daniel Herrera may have forgot that the city is largely blue, and there wasn't some hidden base of Republican voters within the city. It energized the Democrats as much or more than the Republicans. And so, great. I'll be happy to see Daniel Herrera stay there for as long as he likes.
Susan, your take.
Well, there are 2 schools of thought in the Republican Party in Knox County right now. When you look at the outcome of the election Tuesday, one is, well, you know, we ran a slate, we got 45% of the vote. It's a beginning. Daniel Herrera would say that, and in fact has said that. The other school of thought is from some of the moderate Republicans who are saying, have you lost your minds? The city is blue, and it's very blue, and what you did, Daniel Herrera, was mobilize the Democrats to turn out. So it certainly did generate a lot more voters than we've ever had without the mayor being at the top of the ticket. And depending on which side of that conversation you come down on, you could say, yeah, it got people out. It got some of the issues out there, and it's a beginning. But it also, we got beat and spent a lot of money.
Let's step back. We're going to talk about the money, but just for perspective on turnout, John, we talked a lot about this map. This is the 2020 presidential map by precinct in last year's election, but it illustrates what Don, Susan, and John are all saying. Blue represents Democrats, and this is the city of Knoxville. This, of course, Knox County. Knoxville got a lot more blue in the 4 years from 2016 to 2020, John. You read up on the numbers, so just for our viewers to understand what we're talking about here, explain it.
Well, you're having a lot more people move in. You're having a lot more people gravitating both from inside the state of Tennessee and outside the state of Tennessee to our region, and they're coming to Knoxville. We see our numbers boosting, and they're attracted by what they have in the city. A lot of them are, and a lot of them are from like California, another place, and they vote with D's.
So, Susan, let's go to you. You talked about this mobilizing and getting people out. Do you think that the partisan side of what is supposed to be a nonpartisan race is something we'll see continued, or will it drop after the result we saw in this election?
Well, again, it depends on what school of thought you're from. If you are happy that the Republican candidates got 45% of the vote, and you look at it, that's a beginning. We'll do more next time. I think the Republican Party in Knox County is really at a crossroads right now. There is a lot of division among our party in this county, and I don't know what's going to happen. But I think this partisan race again. Some people are just saying, "How dare you do that?" You know what was really interesting to me with your map? I was looking at the precincts and the turnout and the votes that the Republican candidates got. For instance, Sequoia Hills used to be a very Republican district. You could always count on that turnout high and turnout for Republicans. Well, Jim Clanaris, for instance, got 39%. Garrett Holt got 38%. Donald Trump got 38%. It is a definite blue precinct now, and is a very heavy part of the vote in the city. So I think the Republicans in this county are going to sit down, have some soul searching, and where we go from here.
That is, of course, District 2 you're talking about there in Sequoia Hills, Susan. We're going to come back and talk about the districts that were up, where they are, and also the people running in the breakdown on election night. Stay with us on Inside Tennessee.